And we're going to go to a very famous and quite new restaurant for its fame. And it's in Seattle. And I'd like to show it to you. It's in a marvelous little place called Madison Valley. It's just outside of the town a bit. It's becoming very fashionable. The chef Roturo, get that, Roturo. He's going Roturo. You see, that's the name. All right? And he has now developed this beautiful little French country provincial restaurant there, and he's doing great dishes. And I asked him, would it be possible that we could work together to have a look at the Bavarois so that maybe it isn't quite so lethal as it can be? And we started, was that nice? I think it was nice. And it was really a marvelous experience. What he's doing now, he's making the classic, the as per Escoffier dish with all the whipped cream and all the egg yolks in, and the thing is laden because we wanted to look to see what it was that maybe could be modified in some way. Isn't that, look, gorgeous on that plate? Now that is a dish, and look who I have by my side. Isn't that special? You know, we have chefs who come to us from all over the world to come here. You're from Brittany.
Right, south of Brittany.
South of Brittany.
That's right.
A marvelous part of the world with great food.
Lots of rain also.
Yes, lots of rain. I bet you feel at home, don't you? Yeah. Well, look, I'll tell you what. I just want one question from you now, and then we're going to eat later on. First of all, thank you for working on this dish with me.
It's my pleasure.
Why the herb garden out the back of the restaurant? Why so close?
Quality, and just to be so close to anything that can be available to myself.
Do you garden yourself?
Yeah.
And so you pull it out of the ground and rush into the kitchen. It's fresh and alive.
That's right.
He's a smashing cook. Look, so I'll cook for you, all right?
Please do.
And shout out if I put a foot wrong.
I will definitely do that.
Okay, come on, let's go.
On top, and doing something with a lemon. Oh, you show off. With 16 seconds left, you had corn on the cob, ham, black-eyed peas,
beautiful,
and basil. 8, 7, 6, 5 seconds left. They're finished. Oh, but Terry, you forgot the... No, you didn't forget anything. Okay, audience, it's your turn. We're going to cast our vote. You will be casting your tomato vote if you're voting for Thierry and Linda's...
Ham bon chance.
Oh, you did that with such panache. Ham bon chance. Good ham, good luck.
Yes.
With the black-eyed peas. Excellent, okay? And over here you will be casting your pepper vote if you're voting for Christiane and Amy's...
So Amy going to find a name. She says she found some very good names. So.
Amy, name your dish.
Snapper on a lily pad.
It is so evocative, Amy. Amy says, I don't know what, this is all just coming out of me now. All right, audience, let's see you cast your vegetable. It's a tomato vote. It is a tomato vote. So, Linda, please accept your $100 with our thanks.
Sorry.
Amy.
Roasted half walnut goes around. Believe me, if you do that at home, you're gonna impress your friends.
Boy, they'd really be impressed. This is pretty fancy stuff.
All this with just walnuts.
That's wonderful. I want to let you know now, if you would like recipes for using walnuts, you can call this 1-800 number. It's 1-800-447-TIPS. And we will have the address for the recipe available in the close of the show for this particular. This is wonderful looking. This is very good. And we want to thank you for joining us.
No
and we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have a Japanese dish. We want to thank Terry Roturo. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Yes. Right there. Oh, that looks great.
Great Chefs Television presents French Fest, a celebration of haute cuisine offered by some of the country's leading French chefs, including André Saltner, Patrick Grandjean, Eric Rippert, Danielle Bono, Christian Delouvrier, Jean-Louis Paladin, Thierry Roturo, and Maurice Delachelle.
Finely sifted flour completes the batter.
Incorporate everything together.
The chef stresses that this batter should rest for an hour.
Once the appareil is rested, just pour it over the sherry in the mold.
Bake at 400 degrees for 25 minutes. The finished dessert is cooled slightly, unmolded, and presented at Rover's with whole cherries, a little of their jus, some edible flowers, and creme anglaise.
Weber Grills and Great Chefs Productions presents Grill Out Seattle, featuring grilling tips and recipes from 4 of the Northwest's finest chefs, including Monique Barbeau from Fuller's, Casper Donier from Casper's, Tom Douglas from Dahlia Lounge, and Thierry Rotero from Rover's.
And now that the yam and potatoes are ready, we're going to put them in a food processor and make them into a puree. The puree been blended. Put it in a pastry bag. Pipe it onto your soup bowl. Put your sea scallops around the puree. Your foie gras on top of the puree. And with this dish, I have a lobster stock reduced down with butter incorporated at the end. Then I will put right around it. If that doesn't taste good, I'll take personally responsibility.
All his life, Chef Henri Lafitte has lived for nothing but perfecting his supreme poule de Provence. He selects only the most delectable purebred birds and vegetables from the sun-drenched slopes of the Loire Valley.
Bon appétit.
Indeed, his creation is truly a masterpiece.
Typical. Typical.
Once you've got a Citizens Equity line, everything else just seems typical. Citizens Bank, not your typical bank.
Coming up on TV Diners, we'll meet the talented chef owner of Rover's in Seattle, this year's James Beard Award nominee for Best Regional Chef. We'll go on a culinary tour of the Mediterranean at marinas in Memphis, and we'll see what's cooking at the Moosewood, the country's premier vegetarian restaurant.
Welcome to TV Diners. I'm Nina Griscom.
And I'm Alan Richmond. At Rover's, we've discovered one of the most romantic restaurants in Seattle. Its courtyard setting, its cozy ambiance are matched by a Franco-American menu that's way out of the ordinary. Instead of the usual chicken, beef, pasta, Chef Thierry Rotero concentrates on wild game and unusual seafood dishes that are guaranteed to turn any night into a special occasion.
This is supposed to be, according to many people, including Zagat, one of the, probably the best restaurant in Seattle.
Right. Now, I'm waiting for Seattle to happen. People think Seattle has already happened.
I was just going to say, some people would dispute that.
I don't think it's happened yet. I mean,
it's happened, but you're waiting for it to come up to the next notch.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely correctly. I mean, it has the best raw ingredients, including wines, of any area in the country. I mean, I even think it's better than California. And it has...
Wow, that's a top statement.
Well, for the potential I'm talking about, and it has wonderful markets, wonderful seafood, wonderful wild products growing in the, it's all those forests there, truffles there. Everything you possibly want is there. But the cooking is yet to come to the highest level. Now, the last time I was in Seattle last year, I did not try Rover's. It was closed the 2 days I was there.
Ah, too bad. So I understand that's really the top spot in town.
We hear it's the best. So we'll have a look. Rover's in Seattle, Washington.
Tucked inside this turn-of-the-century courtyard is one of Seattle's most romantic dining rooms. At Rover's, the flowers are always fresh, the wine chilled, and the stage set for the perfect rendezvous. Owner and chef Thierry Rotero has a Frenchman's flair for food, romance, and the charm of the unexpected.
We try to make it a special evening for couples who come here. and we try to make it so that they don't eat just, you know, an everyday kind of food.
And so Chef Rotero's menu eschews chicken, beef, and other conventional meats in favor of the exotic. Seafood, vegetable, and wild game dishes like partridge and venison take center stage in his kitchen, which offers some of Seattle's best French cooking using fresh Northwestern ingredients. The chef's creative experiments are legendary.
You'll know if it's right if you can eat it yourself. If you can't eat it, it should be okay.
Today, everyone is eating the smoked salmon and goat cheese terrine, garnished with marinated beet salad and a balsamic vinegar infusion, and the delicate stuffed zucchini blossom, enhanced with tomato puree and roasted red and yellow bell peppers. Here, medallions of Alaskan Copper River salmon are grilled and served with a fresh pea sauce and black summer truffle shavings. And a succulent breast of guinea fowl is paired with an apple rhubarb sauce and a rich slab of foie gras. Desserts are no less extraordinary. Choose from the bittersweet dark chocolate tart with a vanilla poached pear and orange caramel ice cream, or a fresh fruit compote swimming in rhubarb soup and topped with a refreshing muscat cheese sorbet. Many Seattleites share the chef's adventurous palate, and luminaries like Bill Gates, Oliver Stone, and Peter Gabriel have made Rover's into Seattle's most discreet hideaway for the rich and famous. Even with all this attention, the ambience at Rover's has remained cozy, intimate, and sophisticated. The work of local artists lends the room Northwestern color, and the artistry of the chef adds a French accent to the festivities.
The customer, we give them a lot of care, and we also give the food a tremendous amount of care as well.
With all this TLC, there's nothing left to do but sit back and enjoy the romance.
Well, I think we have to face the fact that this is in many ways a French restaurant. He doesn't want to say
Well, it's certainly a French tech. He's French. He's studied in France. His technique is French, but you've got all those wonderful Northwestern ingredients there.
But he likes he likes guinea fowl. He likes, well, balsamic vinegar is Italian.
His specialty is fish, though.
Right, his specialty is fish, which is very
Yeah.
good. He loves foie gras and consommés.
Yes. Who doesn't?
No, he doesn't like these things. So I think what you're having here is this, this merging of the local ingredients, which is the best way to cook with the classic
Right.
techniques.
Yeah.
And I don't think you see too much of this at what I think is his level in Seattle yet.
You're absolutely right. You can tell that even without having tasted the food, you can look at the way the plates are presented, and that tells a story right there.
Yeah, and the whole level in Seattle, I think, of the professionalism hasn't caught on yet. I don't want to say where it was, but I went on a Sunday night to a very famous restaurant in Seattle last year. I was in a hotel, and the chef wasn't there on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
It was such a laughably bad meal that I was laughing with the staff as this terrible food came out. But the point being, when the chef was there, he could cook. When the chef wasn't there, nobody knew what they were doing.
Apart. So you're really talking about the running of a restaurant that hasn't been brought up to speed.
But I think everything isn't quite up to speed yet in Seattle, except, again, those magnificent raw ingredients are there. But I know I'll get in trouble with people who...
You're in big trouble already, so
yes.
why not have a little more? Wines are great also, local. The Pinots are good.
Oh, well, the Pinot, they're very lucky there. When you go to Seattle and you eat in Washington, you can just order Pinot Noir with almost anything.
Absolutely.
The local Pinot Noirs will match
Even
almost any
fish.
food. Absolutely with fish, because they're so berry and they have a little lightness to it, and they have lots of acidity, and they're very good. He has a nice wine list. I mean, it's just an all-around good menu, I think.
He's hosted most of the world's great chefs here, as a matter of fact, who over the years have become friends and admire his work.
Absolutely. So if the great chefs can go there, you can go there. Rover's is at 2808 East Madison in Seattle. It's 206-325-7442. Major credit cards are accepted. Closed Sundays and Mondays when I was there. Average meal price is $42, and the chef's choices are the warm wild mushroom and barley salad with a balsamic vinegar sauce, the Alaskan sea scallops and Penn Cove mussels. They like to name everything from where they're gathered. So these were gathered at Penn Cove, with braised leeks and sea urchin sauce, and a berry soup with strawberry mint sorbet and summer berries.
You didn't tell me where the berries came from. Up next, the Mediterranean comes to Memphis at Moreno's.